Now, today we're going to look at nutrition, eating right based on your age. So what kinds of meals should you be eating in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and when you are above 50s, what you should be looking out for so that you protect your health and you don't catch all these diseases because of what you are eating. If you have any questions or you want to contribute to the conversation, you know what to do. If you're on Facebook, just comment down below. If you're on other social media platforms, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily. If you want to reach us directly, our WhatsApp line is 0550 585832. And if you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. I have State-registered Nutritionist Akosua Konadu Yiadom here with me. Good morning, Akosua.
Good morning, Dziffa.
How are you?
I'm fine, yourself?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's always a pleasure.
Now, eating right for your age, how important is this, especially as we're getting older?
So I say that aging comes with its own complications. So it's not about, okay, I'm no longer a child, I'm no longer here. You need to make sure you are paying attention to whatever you are putting into your body. So for every bracket or every age within the life cycle, it is very important that we pay certain kinds of attention to certain kinds of foods we are eating. We bring a bit more of this and then cut down on that so that at least our bodies can really appreciate the goodness in whatever we are eating. So you don't just pick anything and eat. After 30, your metabolism as a woman will slow down, and then there is a need for you to also cut down as far as your caloric intake is concerned. You have to make sure that as men, as women, you need to make sure there are a lot of fibrous-rich foods or a lot of fiber in your meals so that you do some good to your gastric health as well. And then you have to make sure you are constantly sure of vitamin D and calcium because there is the need to repair, there is a need for muscle building, there is a need to make sure that you maintain strong bones and teeth. And bones or calcium is such a big deal. Vitamin D, calcium for people about 40 and thereabout. So every stage will need to be guided on what to bring in after age 50, 60, 65, you know. So after 65 or after 60, you need to make sure that there is an increase as far as even your calcium intake is concerned, because that is where you find out that osteoporosis for women, bone marrow issues. So right after menopause, right after andropause, there is a depletion as far as your calcium and vitamin D stores are concerned. And vitamin D, when you are exposed to the sun, we've spoken extensively about it. So most of everything we will be talking of, you can just find some of these things on CityTube so that at least you can really appreciate whatever we are talking about. So it is very important, and I know that your questions will bring certain things.
Let's start out with your 20s. What should we be eating when we're in our 20s?
So for people in their 20s, you need to make sure you have a lot of calcium-rich, iron-rich foods in your meals.
Why?
Now, iron is very important for brain health, and then iron is also important, especially for women, if you are menstruating. So every woman will need 18 milligrams per day. And so, yes, these are examples of iron, great sources of iron, rich food.
Red meat.
Yeah, red meat. Iron promotes healthy pregnancy, increases energy, prevents general weakness, and better athletic performance. And so you'd have to know what to be eating. So at this stage, you need to make sure, because we are menstruating, we are losing blood every month, and so we have to make sure our stores are not depleted, because once iron deficiency is in, it becomes difficult for women who are in childbearing age. It's not healthy for any pregnancy, because at labor you can even lose your life, or it could be bad. So you need to make sure that if you are in your 20s, your focus is on iron-rich foods and then calcium rich foods, because you need to also maintain stronger bones, stronger teeth, and make sure that at least every part of your body receives some goodness as far as calcium and then iron is concerned.
So for iron, if you don't eat meat, you can substitute it with beans.
Yes, so we have the plant
greens.
source, we have the plant source protein, we have the animal source protein, that is the hem iron and the non-hem iron. So we have animal source protein, and these liver, red meat, poultry, fish, They are all eggs, they are part of the animal source protein.
Okay.
And then we have the plant source proteins where we have the legumes, pulses, nuts and seeds also forming that side.
So
and then
you can
vegetables.
Get your sunflower seeds,
so
you
the
can
leafy
get your
green
granules.
vegetables. If you are taking red meat, and let's say I'm a vegetarian, I can decide to go for soya bean. I can decide to go in for black-eyed beans or bambara beans or whatever, and at the end of the day, we'll all be on the same page. Yeah.
Okay. Now for calcium, milk, cheese, but people who also don't, people who are lactose intolerant, what options will they have as far as getting the calcium that they need? The
excellent source is the food sources, but definitely supplementation will come in because we'll get there even above 60. Now, your calcium needs is no longer 1,000 milligrams per day. It shoots up to 1,200 milligrams per day. So you have to make up for that extra 200. And that is the stage you realize that, Dziffa, my grandmother struggles to chew meat, and she can struggle to even chew the soft bone. So what do I need to do? Because this is a woman who definitely has weakness as far as her joints are concerned. There is a depletion as far as bone health, bone marrow issues are concerned, and it's very unfortunate because as they age, their calcium needs become much. But this is when some of them, their tummies can't even. My mommy can't tolerate milk at this point, but it wasn't like that. So it is very, very easier for women, or especially because of osteoporosis, to have a depletion, or they are unable, or they are not able to make their daily needs of calcium. So for
what
people
will be
like that,
the
supplementation.
alternative? So beyond supplement, are there like plant-based alternatives they can consider?
Like I said, basically you eating healthy, a lot of fibrous fruits, a lot of wholemeal foods, a lot of fruits, vegetables will make sure that some of these things are compensated for. But like I said, you can talk about citric family foods and then leave pineapple. They are excellent sources of calcium. But if your body is not appreciating, you need to be supplemented, or you make sure you bring in some of these meals I spoke about as part of your meals, so that you can have a bit from there. And then whoever is taking care of you, sardine has iron in there, salmon has great calcium in the broccoli. So like I said, the leafy green vegetables, if you're a fan of broccoli, spinach, at least you'll be getting some amount. And then once labs are done, we do the basic chemistry and we know where the deficit is, we can step in with supplementation. Because sometimes you have to do it.
Can you also do plant-based milk like tiger nut milk,
almond milk,
soya milk,
yes.
coconut milk?
So yes, I had a client last week who said she doesn't tolerate any of the milk products on the market, but she's observed that when she does almond milk, it works. I was like, it's a plant-based. So most people, if you can afford almond milk, it's excellent. You can go for it.
Okay, now what should we be eating in our 30s?
So 30s is basically the same as your 20s, but now there is a conscious need for you to add magnesium to your food.
Why?
Because you need to make sure you are working on your blood pressure. So magnesium is very good as far as you improving on your blood pressure is concerned. Now, what happens is that at that age, pressure, Dziffa, you have to settle, you have to do this, there is work pressure, there is this, there is that. So you need to make sure the stress is kind of much in your 30s. Now, you are not the mama bar, that bar. We assume that you are taking, yes, you are an adult. And so you need to make sure that you are pumping this. And then magnesium helps boost performance, it fights depression, and then it helps benefit against type 2 diabetes, for blood pressure, anti-inflammatory benefits, and it can also help with migraines and insulin resistance. And you realize that at that age we have PMS, that is pre-menstrual syndrome symptoms, like sometimes mood swings, and then there is water or fluid retention, and then there is cramps as far as menstruation is concerned. So once you are doing that, or inculcating these meals into your daily meals, as a woman, you are improving on yourself as far as fighting some of these things are concerned, because the cramps, it gets severe with age. Because when I was in my teens, early 20s, Dziffa, I menstruated and I had no pains, no issues. But it's such a big deal for me now, and it's because my body is aging. And so make sure you add magnesium-rich foods into your meals. Magnesium is also good for men. It helps. Magnesium plus potassium, we've spoken about this, it puts men in a very good mood. So good mood as far as everything you're thinking about is concerned, yes. And so these meals, as part of your meals for being a man, being a woman, will help you as far as everything we've spoken about is concerned.
Okay, when it comes to sources of magnesium, obviously avocados, you can get some from nuts, banana. Are there any other things we have locally that are not there that we can still get magnesium from?
So basically, most of the pulses, the nuts and the seeds. So yes, so work with whatever you have around you.
Okay.
If you can find spinach or broccoli, there are people who can even make with dandelion. It grows.
Or ayoyo? Is ayoyo okay?
Backyards, but it depends on how you're able to take it. For instance, let's say I want to make a plain salad or potato salad, and all I have is ayoyo. Ayoyo is slimy, and so I want salad. I don't want okra. So it depends on what you also want to have.
But can you still get the magnesium from those as well?
The darker leafy greens, like I said, once it's a family, it means that if you are not tolerating this, you can make with this. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, so the difference between 20s and 30s would be magnesium, because it helps with whatever depression and issues that you're feeling. Now we make our way into our 40s. What should we be looking out for?
Okay, so for 40s, you need omega-3 fatty acid foods. You need calcium and the same iron. Yeah, so omega-3 fatty acid, because that is the bridge, and that is where a lot of people find themselves having non-communicable diseases like the hypercholesterolemia, the diabetes mellitus, the hypertension. So it's like that bridge where you can prevent a lot of chronic diseases and non-communicable diseases. So you need to make sure that you are giving your body and your soul good fat. And a perfect example of good fat is omega-3 fatty acid foods. Avocado sits in there. Make sure you are changing your oils as far as cooking is concerned. You don't just buy any vegetable oil on the market. You can go for sunflower oil, olive oil, or canola. I've stopped talking about the fact that it is expensive, because when you fall ill and you are buying the medications, they are really expensive. And I always say that my grandmother has been diabetic for over 20 years, and she had it before I could become what I am. I am trying my best, and now her medication is just one. So it takes a great toll on you. The woman will have to take everything, and I'm putting you off the medication. But if you've not even been consistent like her, she eats 6 p.m. and nothing will change it all the time. If you are not conscious about these things, she is conscious, and even with her, it's not been an easy thing. If you are stressed up, you have to be here, Dziffa, by 6:30. You are here, you get home so late, it becomes very difficult. So you have to make sure you are blessing your body with every goodness it will need. So be conscious about calcium. We've spoken extensively about calcium. Be conscious about iron. We've spoken about iron. For a man, your iron need should be between 14 to 18. For a woman, it should be between 12 to 16. For pregnant women going into labor, sometimes above 11 grams per deciliter, we say it is okay, you can enter labor with it. So it is very important that you pay attention to it. We have excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acid rich foods. We have avocado.
And you spoke about your grandma, so let's touch on people who are 60 and above. What should they be looking out for?
Okay, so 60 and above, you need to also make sure that omega-3 fatty acid, vitamin B16, calcium, and protein. But for your protein, you have to do lean protein. Lean protein comes with zero or no fat. And then for the calcium, it's always there. And vitamin B12, sometimes there is a depletion for these persons. There is nothing sometimes you can do about it. So make sure you are inculcating or making vitamin B12 rich foods as part of your meals. And when there is a need for supplementation, we should just be conscious. Sometimes you just have to go to the labs, tell them you want to know your chemistry, or they should just run a test and let you know. You know where you fall. And if there is a drastic depletion, there will be a need for supplementation. And sometimes you need to also be guided on what to eat, what not to eat, what to cut down on. So it's very important. We are in an era where you consult a nutritionist if you really want to stay fit.
Definitely. And to wrap it all up, we've spoken about people in their 20s. In your 20s, you focus more on the calcium-rich and iron-rich foods. 30 years, magnesium plus calcium and iron. When you get to your 40s, then you're looking at omega-3 fatty acids, foods, calcium and iron. 50 years, vitamin B12 as well as calcium. And 60, 70 and above, omega-3, vitamin B16, calcium and protein. And remember that you want to focus on the lean protein because you don't want that fat
please
that may come with the
vitamin
protein.
B12 too, it helps with their memory. So you realize that most people in their 60s or 70s tend to forget a lot. So making these, what is on your screen, part of their meals will help with their brain health as far as their memory, their ability to memorize is concerned, and also help protect their heart and also guard against some of these heart conditions that they may have to fall into if care is not taken.
Thank you so much. Akosua Konadu Yiadom is State-registered Nutritionist. Where do we contact you?
Okay, so a quick one. So we wanted to help our viewers. We've spoken about diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, and all the other things. So I'm giving 3 people the opportunity to have everything, my services and everything, if there is a need for supplementation, for free. So you can follow me on social. Good. Yes, 3. It's my birthday treat for you.
Aww.
So 3 people. And
belated happy birthday.
Thank you so much. So we are looking at
3 people.
3 people.
Okay, nice.
850 Ghana City, 850 to 1,200 for 3 people. So just follow me on social media. I will leave details there, and with the help of the team, we can just fetch these 3 people out and help them for free. So on Instagram at the Nutritionist Akosua, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosua, and you can reach me on 0243 350206.
Thank you so much, Akosua Konadu Yiadom, for being with us.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.